Hello everyone, and welcome back to Ultimate Skyrim Season 2. This is episode 10. Thank you for joining me here today. In between the last episode and this one, I put everything that I didn't want to carry with us away in our room at the inn, so we have purely the essentials.
If this cold numbs my fingers any worse, I'll scarcely be able to hold a weapon.
Well, I guess we better get moving very fast then. Anyway, this is a monumentous moment for us. A momentous moment for us, because we are about to take on our first bandit camp, and shooting ourselves into the mindset of our boy Wraithen here. I think he's very nervous. I think that adrenaline rush is really hitting him, which is appropriate because that's the Red Guard's daily ability, right? I hope you guys are doing well. Let's take this in for a moment. Just the setting and the atmosphere of what will likely be the first time that Wraithen has ever taken a human life. We're going to see if he has the stones for it. So as we know, our target is over this way, and we're going to have to be fast because the sun is going down. If need be, we can always stay the night in this bandit encampment. It's not very far. We can also head back from Windhelm. You can see we're going Trader's Pass. We just discovered the Brandy Mug Farm. How about that? We got our man Stenbar here who's going to help us out. And that's probably going to make all the difference, I think. Or at least as we learned on our last adventure. Wraithen needs help. He can't do this alone. You guys don't mind. I'm just going to take in this atmosphere myself. I don't get to do that quite as often as I'd like. Just a white, gray evening. Death on the wind. Hello?
The best way for us to win the Nord's respect is through hard work.
Well,
until next time.
I can respect that. Now, the question, how do we go about this? God, and just even making this small trek, I worry about our temperature and our exposure. In fact, I'm just going to check, see where we're at. We're pretty good. We're fairly warm. Our gear is fairly warm. It's actually pretty decent. We're wearing our Stormcloak cuirass. Looking pretty badass, honestly. Oh, well, I feel chilly. And our spot is going to be somewhere up that road. So, honestly, before we make our move, maybe it would be best. Is anyone home? Guess not. I was going to say it might be best to warm up, but I think as long as we're fast, we'll be okay. Jeez, the weather in this part of the world it's just a nightmare. Listen to that wind. Alright, Stenbar. How's our exposure cold? That's not good. It's not terrible, but it's not the best. Now, before we hop in here, we've got a couple foods to eat that'll help with our warm as well. We got boar potato stew, we got increased carry weight, and we got cabbage soup, just in case we need some additional magic regeneration, although honestly, I don't really anticipate that being a major problem, since I don't think this is going to be a very magicka-based fight. Alright. We're coming right up on it here. We heard about it from the innkeeper, whoever gave us the bounty, that the bandits were camping at the side of the road in a dilapidated old shack. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They've got bows. Whoa! Oh boy. Oh, come on. Not right now, please. This is dangerous. You know what? Fine. Stenbar's getting into the action, so will we. Oh my god, Stenbar. Jeez. Oh my god. Whoa. Well.
Wait, this is a prize.
Oh. Whoa. He's submitting. Oh my god. Wow. That was anticlimactic, or, I mean, in a way, geez, I feel like it was kind of appropriate. Holy jeez. I built that up so much in my mind. I imagine Rathan is at least a little bit surprised. It's like, what kind of monster did I hire here? And it's kind of interesting if you think about it in the sense that, you know, he geared himself up, he being Rathan. Whoa. I think we just caught something. Or at least the bandits did. He geared himself up for this big ol' fight, right? Like it was going to be this big harrowing moment. And when all was said and done, he managed to get 2 strikes in. And didn't even get the killing blow. And I kind of like that because it allows us to have that moment persist, or like that fear. Just even having the adrenaline, like seeing that arrow drawn in his direction, hearing it hit the rock behind him just inches away from his body, must have been really scary. And then him kind of trying to return the favor, and then just seeing his beast of a man here just go in and clean house, essentially. Well, I suppose it's as good a time as any. We have this fire here. Might as well loot what we can. That's why I dropped off all of our stuff. Maybe we'll get to Karjo's fight by the end of this episode. Ooh, an orcish heavy crossbow. That is pretty solid. And this was our bandit leader here. Potion of restore health. Solid. And some skooma. Jeez. These guys aren't messing around. Ooh, a large bandolier. That's pretty good to have. Leather toughened garment. Well made. Huh. Nice. This is significantly more. Now we can carry even more stuff. Yes.
Thanks.
You're very welcome, Stenbar. I mean, you did most of the work. And that, of course, is our balance for our guy here. Is that he takes the loot. Hide cuirass, iron pot. You know what? Where's my fire sparks? There it is. At least we'll get a little bit of light here so I don't have to use a torch. God, it got dark so fast. Doesn't look like I'm generating any light, actually. Maybe there's too many lights in the area. Soul gem common. Pretty good. Small crate. Let's see what else we got. Juniper berries. Not bad. For the weight, pretty good. What kind of stuff do you have? He's got a... That looks like a... It could even be iron. Oh, covered in blood. Feel chilly, huh? Yeah, it's getting pretty cold pretty fast. I'm almost a little nervous to make the trek back to Windhelm. I suppose if we're fast, we can do it. Nothing there. There's a chest. Now, Rathan once heard his dad, and his mom maybe, told him that bandits or people will sometimes booby trap their chests, so he's going to be very vigilant for that. Got some coins. It's in this dresser here. Iron clothes press. Also, I did hear what sounded like a rabbit get snared. Ooh. You guys hear those wolves howling off in the distance. How atmospheric. Wonderful. Alright, well, I might be able to bash this open myself. Nope, doesn't seem like it. Ugh, that's annoying. Stenvar, are you able to...
We've stopped. What is it?
Hold on a second.
Let me know if anything else you need.
Can you...
No, not
Oh,
possible.
our guy doesn't know how to lockpick. Ah, man. How annoying. Well, you know what I might be able to do?
By the 9, I'd pay good money for a pint of ale to warm my bones.
Yeah, soon, my friend. Here's some ale here. Let's see what happens if I tell him to drink it.
What? Will do.
There we go. Ha! He did it! I can't believe that. That's awesome. That's super cool. I didn't even think that would work. Alright, take some cabbage. Got some carrot. That's good for a stew. Might as well take it along. Doesn't look like we've really exhausted much of our carry weight here. We still have to loot the guys out front. Potatoes, honestly, also pretty decent. I'm just gonna take them all for now. Got a bunch of wines and various meads and so on. Can we check these crates? Wheat, large sack, bottled milk. Nice for a bottle, but not great otherwise. We don't really need it. Ooh, the way that the light's coming out through here. Very cool. Oh, here we go. Got a lot of arrows, this man. Elven boots. Pretty good. Value versus weight, though. The haunting brew mead's actually better, excuse me. Leather bandolier. Potion of restore health. These potions we could always use. Skooma as well. Septims. The rest of this, honestly, not that great. I'm more concerned about the bandit bounty. I mean, it makes sense. These guys are barely eking out a living over here, you know? Bearskin hood, bottled water, face cover, septims. Nothing else all that fantastic. Have any other bodies that we missed? Stenbar. Jeez, dude. Oh, now I'm casting a light. Isn't that dim light kind of awesome in the snow? Well, I left my hunting knife back at the place. Septim. Nothing all that great otherwise. I mean, the arrows, I suppose. This light bow. Ancient Nordic. What do I have? The wooden light bow. It's pretty useless. I'm actually going to put that here. And then, frankly, this crossbow, as someone who's not really specialized in marksman and who doesn't really plan to do so, the crossbow is going to be quite useful for us. Alright, very cold. I got to be careful here. So let's go and find the bolts. That was on our bandit leader, right? Yeah, these are all arrows. In fact, you know what? I'll take the arrows just because they sell for a decent amount of cash. And we have the space, frankly. Suppose this too. And then maybe we'll just load up on mead stuff to sell. I mean, we might as well go back to town with as full of a pack as we can, you know? Because everything will sell. Don't have to worry about that. Yikes. It's getting pretty cold. We're going to want to head back pretty soon. But that crossbow, I mean, we can even sell it if we really want, but I honestly think that it will benefit us, so I'm a little hesitant to do that. And why don't we just grab a bunch of shit from here? We also know that looking for stuff that's got a better value versus weight ratio than 30. That's like the one to beat right now. 70, wheat, sure, I'll take it. Carrying a bunch of crap back. Nothing there. Yada, yada, yada. Cooked leeks. Cooked mammoth snout, excuse me. And we know this, oh, that's what I was gonna do. Does anyone have a two-handed weapon? Might be able to bash that thing open. Iron dagger, that won't cut it. What about you guys? I'm moving quickly here because there's a bunch of bowyers. Moving quickly because the weather is not our friend. I should have looked at this before. Everyone just kind of bowyer. I mean, it kind of makes sense, I suppose. You could take pot shots from this house. I think it would be a really effective place to do that from. But that doesn't really help me. Let's see. Stenbar.
I'm still here.
Can I borrow your...
Yes?
I want you to wear, I want you to sell some. Would you mind getting behind me? Never mind.
All right, then.
Can I look at your inventory? I need to trade some things with you.
I'll be sure to put it to good use.
Can I borrow your greatsword? Just for a moment.
Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Will do. Thank you, Stenbar. I'm liking you already, my friend. Really helping us out. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Boom. Still not strong enough, huh? Well, that's unfortunate, but we always can come back here and grab it if we need to. Take a bunch of Nord meat. How we doing? 114 through 173. It's not exactly glamorous just grabbing all this stuff, is it? Ah, it's getting so dark. Do I need to put on my torch? I don't even have one. Yikes. Well, I guess fire sparks is all we got. Stenbar, here.
Can I help you?
Need to trade some things with you.
Put it to good use.
Go ahead and use that. And how about some of these potions too? Give you that one. And maybe a stamina. Just so he has it, right? Can I get any warmer than this? This is not where I want to stay. God, the life of a bandit, you know what I mean? Alright, well, honestly, I'm not particularly interested.
Have you seen that shrine of Azura? They say the Dark Elves built it after they fled from Morrowind. Sight to see.
I haven't seen it. I think it would be a nice pilgrimage spot for Wraithen. Maybe we'll go see it at some point. But for right now, I'm thinking that... Oh, I can't see anything. Yeah. None of these guys have torches on them either. I don't remember. I don't think so. Anyway, why don't we just stop by these bandit corpses on the way out? Ooh. Whoa. Gotta be fast. But that is beautiful. Bandit corpse. We grab these arrows. I'll just sell those. I'll sell this. We'll just grab a bunch of stuff off of him to sell, right? Bearskin cloak. Face cover. Shit. Take all of it. Why not? Where's our other corpses? One here, right? Somewhere? Over here? There we go. Let's grab whatever loot we can. Why not? Take all this stuff. Well made. Hide tatters, whatever. Alright, let's get the fuck out of here. It is freezing. Very cold. Also, don't let our guard down, because now it's dark and it's very hard to see things. It's very easy to let something sneak up on us. And also, I am pulling out my dual swords. Getting a bunch of snowberries. That netted us some cash last time. Oh. It's like I want to stop and look at the sky, but it's just a little too cold and a little too dangerous. You never know what's lurking out here in the dark. Wow. I still can't believe how easily everyone went down. It just goes to show you the difference it makes having a trained combatant at your side. I think that was a bit of an inspiration moment for Wraithen. Also kind of, maybe embarrassing is too heavy a word, but to see how he being Wraithen, kind of immediately, maybe not cowered, but was overcome with adrenaline and fear and was still in the fray, but when that first arrow was loosed in his direction, I think it was a poignant moment for him. It was very scary. And while that was all happening, the Stenvar just rushed in, you know? Like without so much as a second thought. Now I find that Wraithen's mind wanders back to the war and what it must have been like for his parents to actually see battle. Now that Wraithen has seen battle himself, even just a smidgen of it, the terror and the feeling of having someone coming for you with the intent of taking your life is just a feeling that he's never experienced. It's like against the animals, it's one thing, right? Like those were all very scary experiences, and I think they hardened him a little bit, but there's something different about having another sentient, sapient being deciding to try and kill you, you know? Even though that's essentially what he went there to do as well, there's a big difference. And I like to imagine that bandit leader, when maybe saw how quickly his cohorts were cleaved down and the bandit leader kind of retreated backwards into the safety of his little bedroom there to hide and maybe get an attack of opportunity. And then when Wraithen came up and wasn't quite paying attention, he popped out to try and get that attack of opportunity. And Wraithen just turned and saw him, right? And all of a sudden you've got a bandit rushing at you putting all of his strength into this overhead attack. Rathan manages to sidestep and get in a couple of strikes of his own. And then he hears this bandit beg for mercy. Just immediately the tone shifts, even though Rathan's adrenaline is still pumping like crazy. And Stenbar, without so much as a word, walks over and just ends the man's life. Just quite the day. A lot to unpack there, you know? Alright, weapons away. Thank you, Stenbar. God, the feeling of being back within the safety of the town walls. Ugh. It's palpable, is it not? Well, what time is it? 9:10? Looks like we've got a night. And oh, this is another thing too. I think the fact that we're walking around in Stormcloak gear, I like to think that people won't immediately assume that we've stolen it. They don't necessarily know that we're not part of the Stormcloaks. I think we might raise a few eyes because we're Red Guards, right? And Red Guards probably aren't super common Stormcloak members. But as long as we don't stay in one place for too long or talk about it, I think we might be okay. Speaking of, Stenbar.
What can I do for you, friend?
Let's see. I think he should automatically
Let me know
sandbox.
if you need anything.
Will do. Thanks, mate. So this is all of our stuff. Whew. God, my own kind of adrenaline is still spiked from the encounter. That's really what I'm going for with all this death mechanic talk that we've all been doing lately. I just want encounters, dangerous encounters, to feel dangerous, you know, and to have that immediacy, for lack of a better term. I think you just need to have some element of consequence. Maybe not one that's too harsh, something like permadeath, at least for the purpose of this series where we had this elaborate backstory and all that. Also, question here. Which... Oh, the brown is the most valuable one. I guess... Oh, it's because the brown bear is the rarest, perhaps, in this area? This part of town? Could be. Oh, this is a hood. That makes sense. It actually might be warmer than what we're wearing. Let me see, 45 and 14. We're wearing a helmet, but our other hoods, we can sell a bunch of this stuff. Cotton mage hood. 25 and 43, it's actually pretty good. Cotton, it's warm. We got a lot of stuff to sell off. An extra kind of set of armor. Figure that's not the worst to have, but I think we're okay for now. Alright, well, I think we'll call it a night. What do you guys think? Let's go ahead and have a little rest. 12 hours, so I can do my math, 9:30. I want it to be at least 8:30, so that way we can go to the markets. The problem with trying to accrue useful bits of, you know, raw materials, and the problem with doing any sort of real crafting at this point. Oh, let's see how our level progress went. Speech 14. Not the worst. I mean, we didn't do that much, to be honest with you. We got a couple strikes in and, you know, so forth. Use a nice bathtub. Now, Rathan feeling a little bit more bolstered now, a little bit more confident than he was before, right? Why don't we go ahead and...
Got some fresh baked bread and good cheese if you're after a bite to eat.
Thanks, Elda. I actually might be. I'm going to come back for that. I'm going to eat my cooked mammoth snout that I took. And then I'm going to see if I can't make some stew. I need some bottled water, right? In fact, here, I'm going to buy some from her.
Stay and don't break nothing. Those dark... Take a look.
Let me see here. Do you not have any water? You don't have any water. That is unfortunate. What do you have to... boar potato stew? That's not great. Nord mead. Oh, this is my stuff. I almost made the same mistake. I was going to say, I thought she would have bottled water. Typically they do. It's a common... Let's see, bottled water, 13. Why don't I just get, I don't know, 5. I don't have very much gold. But hopefully that'll change soon.
Mind you don't put out that candle on the hearth upstairs.
Will not, I promise. Hello? Cabbage soup. Pretty good. Cooked potatoes. Potato soup. Hey, cabbage soup is better. Snowberry tea. That's not that great. None of that really is. Cooked potatoes, fine. Well, let's head out to the market and just sell all this crap. See how much gold we end up with. Also, I don't have any water. So I'm gonna ask for a quick refill.
Yes,
Yes.
of course.
Thank you, Elda. Much appreciated.
Until next time.
Let's go ahead and... Oops, I did not mean to do that. Got a little bit drunk. That's okay. You know what? It's a celebration of last night. Honestly, we should have been drinking last night with our boy Stenbar. He was drinking a little bit after the fight. Maybe we can imagine that there was some sort of conversation between the two of them where maybe Raythan woke up this morning feeling a little bolstered, a little bit more confident, also a little shaky after last night's events. It's pretty intense, so, you know, maybe start the morning off with a little bit of a beverage. Stenbar told him to take a drink last night because Stenbar saw how kind of shaky Raythan was, right? Oh, great, now we get to deal with this. And Raythan opted not to, and now he wishes that he had, so that's why he drank that bottle, we can say. Oh, this is not fun. For the sake of the... I don't mind it terribly, this effect. I think we can turn it off, though. Just for your guys' sake, I don't think it'll be super fun to look at. Let's see, cell respawn time, atmosphere skills and perks, poisons without visual effects. Uh-oh, yeah, I don't think that'll affect the drunkenness. Oh well. Hopefully you guys can deal with that for the time being. We're mostly just selling stuff off, so it's not the worst. Own goal war anvil. What's up, guys?
I've been looking for you.
Oh,
Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
is that so?
And with good reason. Malthair told me you've been
What did I get?
about our situation. He said you're going to help us.
What?
Few Nords have ever
Oh, Harvest End flyer.
a discount is
Harvest End, last seed. The year has turned its circle, the seasons come and go. The harvest is all gathered and chilly north winds blow. Taverns will be busy throughout the day, but free food and drink will be available for all outside after 5. Alright,
Oh, I see.
what's today?
Well, I'm sorry to have troubled you.
It is the 24th, so that's in 3 days. Mark that down on our
If you
calendar.
need anything, come see me. Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that.
Alright. Have some wine? I don't want that. Oh, what is he willing to buy for me? Now, these are the same. I figure we sell the brown one, keep with the black one ourselves. Or potato stew I'll hold on to. The bottled water I'll probably hold on to. Cabbage soup, carrot, you can have that. Cooked potatoes I'll keep. Fur bracers, all you guys. Wait, is this better than what I have? No, no way. Fur bracers, have it all. Hide tatters. Oh, whoops.
Be sure to stop by Sadri's used wares.
Will do. I actually might have to go over there.
Fruits and vegetables.
Stenvar having a little breakfast, huh? I think that's him anyway. I'm a little drunk.
If the Empire and the Stormcloaks want to kill each other...
I don't
over
haggle. If you want a lower price, look elsewhere. Take a look.
Alright. Here we go. Have one of these. And I'm going to hold on to that, I guess. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't really need it. I can't really afford to carry that much stuff around anyway. I don't have the carry weight. Have my arrows. All of this. Bam. Iron, silver. I'll keep the bolts, because if we're going to hold on to this boy. You know what I mean? Steel dagger. I can use a better weapon, excuse me, than this iron sword, but I'll hold off for now. Elven boots, well made. This is good backup equipment. Also, it looks badass. Feeling of warmth from my drink has worn off. I don't need these face covers. Maybe we'll hold on to these just as our, you know, little bit of a backup equipment. Hide tatters. Leather vial bandolier. Don't need that one anymore. I'm going to hold on to this. And then you can have these. Nice. What about food? Oh, the mead. Here you go. Potato. I don't need any more raw potatoes. You can always get more.
For your custom.
Of course, blue mountain flowers, all except for 2. Oh, whoops. I meant, yeah, there we go. You can have the juniper berries and the purple mountain flower,
Knives and other goods for the home.
and the red mountain flower and the snowberries. Always good for $1. Man, we're making bank on those snowberries. You know why? It's because no one wants to go out and fucking pick them because it's too cold. That's what I imagine anyway. All right, 924. Pretty good.
Assorted wares and tools you just
Soul
can't
gem
live
common.
without. Come and see for
Pretty good.
yourself.
Some leather strips, and I don't care about that empty bottle at all. Hey, 1,000 gold. Now Rathan's feeling a little better. Get some more snowberries. How about that? I wish she was less drunk. Ugh. Still investigating this death. There's Stenbar. I apologize for the double effect. It's kind of trippy though, right? It's cool in a way. It's almost like hallucinogenic. Alright, there we go. Let's go ahead and see how our bounty performs. Rathan's a little nervous now, because, hey, maybe he even took this job as a means of having a reason to come in and inspect the Palace of Kings and see what sort of person Jarl Ulfric is. I think Rathan's heard and seen a lot. Our original goal, if you guys remember, if I didn't repeat it enough times for you, was to establish ourselves in Windhelm and put out the feelers and see what sort of place this is and what sort of group the Stormcloaks were, because Rathan was considering them as a means of striking back against the Thalmor.
And what would you have me do?
If he's not with us, he's against us.
He knows that. They all know that.
How long are you going to wait?
You think I need to send Bolgraf a stronger message?
If by message you mean shoving a sword through his gullet.
Taking his city and leaving him in disgrace will make him more powerful.
I guess I'm kind of beneath their notice. This is who I'm here to talk to.
In earnest then.
Soon.
I still say you should take them all out like you did dead King Torrik.
Torrik was merely a message to the other Jarls. Whoever we replace them with will need the support of our army.
We're ready when you are.
Go listen a little bit.
Hinge on Whiterun. If we can take the city without bloodshed, all the better. But if not,
The people are behind you.
Alright, well, we can't be too conspicuous, just listening, overhearing, right? Be suspected.
we've been
I'm telling you, I heard it. Howling. Those werewolf tales are true.
Maybe. A bandit leader at Trader's Post is dead. I'm here for the bounty.
Excellent. You've done us a great service. Here is your reward.
Thank you. 200 septums, huh? Oh, but some amethyst and some garnets. I'd like to purchase a hunting permit. No, thank you. Let's see. What can you tell me about Windhelm, your relief?
Grew up here. Cold as at Mora. But that just grows the beard sticker. Lot of history in these walls. We're trying to make some more. It's a lucky time to be alive.
Huh. What do you do for the Jarl?
For Ulfric? Well, nothing official. Known him for years. He seems to value my thoughts, and I'm grateful for that. I don't really have a mind for
Hear Ulfric getting all pissed in the background.
An untrained opinion from time to time. Travel safely. It's dangerous out there.
Too weak to rule them, yet brands them criminals for wanting to rule themselves. I fight so that all the fighting I've already done hasn't been for nothing. I fight because I must.
Your words give voice to what we all feel, Ulfric. And that's why you will be High King. But the day words are enough will be the day when soldiers like us are no longer needed.
I would gladly retire from the world, were such a day to dawn.
Aye, but in the meantime, we have a war to plan.
Dare we speak to the man himself? Well, Wraithen's feeling a little emboldened.
Only the foolish or the courageous approach a Jarl without summons.
Apologies.
I'm sorry to hear that. If you change your mind, speak with Belmont. What does bring you to me?
Nothing. Wraithen lost his nerve. I don't know. In a moment, I think he was inspired by that speech, but also, I don't know, ideas of the Grey Quarter and of his guards treating the populace as they did, and honestly, the way they treated Wraithen as well. I think that it's just not enough. It's not convincing. I think Wraithen's gonna have to go his own way.
I've spent my life serving Talos. I don't plan to stop now, no matter what the Empire says.
Here's where I think Wraithen's head is at. Everyone knows that this war is ostensibly about this Talos worship, right? And the outlaw of Talos's worship from Skyrim, and the submission of the Empire in Skyrim to the Thalmor, and specifically their outlawing of Talos worship. That's not Wraithen's fight. I think it's like, you know, the old adage, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That works so long as your enemy remains the same, or the goals that you have remain aligned. You know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of situation. And I don't know. If you remember, Wraithen's family, his parents, were once burned by the Empire in a sense, and in a way that was understandable. The Empire had to withdraw and defend the Imperial City rather than remain in Hammerfell and defend their interests there. But it was a betrayal, and it's of sorts. And it's something that his parents would talk about a lot, or, you know, when asked, you could say. And just, it's a cautionary tale about how when someone that you're fighting with is not fighting for the same thing that you are, it's risky. It's always risky. I mean, right now, Wraithen doesn't really have much to offer to the fight anyway. I suppose he also will keep the possibility open of joining the Stormcloaks, just so long as they're useful and so long as their stance against the Thalmor remains, right? But I think he's wary of getting burned in the same way that his parents were. And it is very possible when someone does have, when their goals don't exactly align with yours. You know, it's like Wraithen wants to attack the heart of the Thalmor. Skyrim is fighting for its independence, in a sense, right? At least ostensibly. So it's not quite the same. Then again, I mean, there's also the idea that his father was kind of in a similar situation at one point and ended up fighting for Hammerfell's independence. But his father was inspired by his mother to do that. I don't think Wraithen has any such inspiration, at least right now. So we'll table that for now. Keep our eyes focused. At least for now, he has a friend that he'd like to make, right? In the form of Karjo. Someone who was endearing to him, and someone whose plight he can understand. And now that Wraithen's had a taste of actual combat and experienced that first moment of what he is kind of like, what Wraithen is like when he's in that mortal situation, I think he knows he needs to press forward and get far more used to that before he even considers doing something like joining a war formally, you know, because also, if you join a war on one side, there's a record of that. You're not exactly low-key anymore. You're not flying under the radar. As long as you remain an independent agent, you know, you still have a ripple effect. People still do learn who you are, and you make some waves, but you're not quite as on the radar as someone who's officially enlisted in an army. That's kind of how I'm thinking about it. So, with all that said, how much carry weight do we have? We have plenty. And where is Karjo? Oops. Remove it. Where's Karjo's fight? Karjo's moon amulet inside Orothyme. Well, we were looking for a reason to get out of Windhelm, right? And now we have one. All the way over near Whiterun Hold, even. in Hjalmarch, inside Orotheim. Little cave. Well, I think we've got an adventure on our hands here, folks. Now, the question is, how do we get there? Traveling on foot is always dangerous. We want... Oops, sorry. How do we get there? We could take the carriage. Slightly less interesting, and then we don't get to see it. You know what? I think that... Because also the carriage, as we said in the last episode, we're going to kind of headcanon it to where the carriage is a little bit more expensive than it is. It's not really a headcanon. It will take more money away. So let's say the carriage to Whiterun is approximately 300 gold. That's a large percentage of our savings that we've built up, and we are trying not to burn what we earn here, right? It's not like we're getting nothing. Even if we do, we still get the experience and all of that. But I think Rathan feels that if he's going to have any sort of impact in this land, if he's going to realize the goals that he has for himself, he's got to really submit himself to being here and living here and figuring out what that's like and just understanding the land. And I don't know, I think he's done taking shortcuts. I think he's done building himself up, thinking that he can make some sort of impact when he's just, what's the word? I guess half-assing it, for lack of a better term. I think that he's going full immersion therapy, so to speak, and committing himself to really strengthening it, really firing himself through the crucible and using that strife to strengthen his resolve and his arm, and just, you're never gonna get better, you're never gonna learn if you just play it safe. So he's gonna make that journey himself on foot, perhaps, or maybe we can get a horse or something along the way, or who knows what's gonna happen along the way. But I think it's time to say goodbye to Windhelm. So why don't we take our stuff, cook slaughterfish, fine, elven hunting knife, cotton mage hood, why not? Our fur plate, our hide lace, some of the stuff, well, you can stand to get rid of at some point too. Leather braces, leather strips, sure, leek, paper roll. We can also give stuff to our follower now. That's a good thing to remember. Paper roll, and in fact, as we go along, that might be a good idea. If we start running out of space, we're okay right now. Troll's blood, wolfskin cloak, black. Oh, I wasn't wearing my cloak. Is that why I was getting so cold? I think I took it off because I didn't think I would need it. What boots am I wearing? The leather boots, well made. Nice. And my bearskin cloak, black. Oh, I was wearing one. Am I crazy? Wolfskin cloak. This is not as good. 40 and 12. Oh, they're the same. Wolfskin cloak. I just think the bearskin cloak looks cooler. You know what I mean? Well, either way. Here. Where's our guy? Hey, Stenbar. I don't know where he is, but everything we own is now on our pack. I think it's time to bid Windhelm goodbye.
Fresh baked bread and good cheese if you're after a bite to eat.
Thank you, Elda.
Take a look.
One final meal. Thank you.
Enjoy your stay, and don't break nothing.
All right. Oh, there's also the question. Oh, man. I just remember the question of the murders here in Windhelm. Do we try and... Because I know that that's something that would also resonate with Rathan pretty strongly.
We've stopped. What is it?
Let me know if there's anything else you think.
Well, you know what? Honestly, I think I have a decision to make. So right now, we're either about to leave Windhelm and begin on our grand adventure of retrieving Karjo's moon amulet, right? That's our plan. That's our goal. And just, you know, strengthening ourselves in that respect. Or, before we leave, we'll commit ourselves to bringing this killer to justice that we heard about. And I think I'm going to have to decide which of those two things I'm going to do. We'll call this the end of the episode. It's about that time anyway. why don't you guys leave your thoughts in the comments as to which you think we should go after between those two options and why. You know that I like to... These episodes are kind of like almost like Dungeons and Dragons style cumulative storytelling to me. I really like involving you guys in the process, and I find that some of my favorite bits of storytelling and my favorite elements of the experience are when we're all kind of working together to decide what to do next and that kind of thing. So why don't you guys leave your thoughts in the comments between going after the murderer here in Windhelm, the serial killer, or immediately setting out on our adventure to do a service for our friend Karjo. Let me know. Thank you guys all for watching. You know that I really appreciate it. I truly, truly do. The idea that you guys all watch this every week is just really endearing to me, and it's still hard to believe even after all this time. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.